Good morning, year ones, and welcome to Thursday's literacy lesson. I hope you are all well this morning. We're going to start off our literacy lesson today by looking at questions and looking at the punctuation that we use when we are writing a question. Now, first of all, what is a question? So a question is a type of sentence, and we use these sentences when we want to find out more information. Okay, now lots of question sentences start with one of the following words. We might use who, why, where, what, how, when. Okay, so these words at the beginning of our sentence often are used to show that we are asking a question. Now, we use a special piece of punctuation when we write question sentences. We don't use a full stop, we use a question mark, okay? And here is what a question mark looks like. Okay, it's a bit of a funny looking punctuation mark. It's kind of like a little bit of a back to front k with a line down and then a dot. But this is used to show that we have asked a question. So I have got some questions on the board for you to look at. Okay, now these are questions that you might hear someone asking you at school. Okay, so you might hear your teacher or your teaching assistant ask you, or maybe even a friend. So you might hear, how are you feeling today? What school dinner choice would you like? Who is picking you up from school? Okay, so there's just a few questions that you might hear or might be asked at school. And we use questions all the time throughout the day, lots and lots of questions. Do you notice something that is missing in my question sentences? Have a little look at my sentences. What is missing? You're right, year ones, it is my question mark, okay? Remember, we need to end our sentence with a question mark. So I'm going to have a go now at doing my question mark. So it's like a back to front C, okay? So I'm going to start off doing a back to front C and line down and a dot. Okay, now that doesn't look the best because I am doing it with my my finger on the control pad. Okay, but I'll try again. What school dinner choice would you like? So a back to front C, line down and a dot. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Okay, who is picking you up from school? I need to put my question mark. So a back to front, line down and a dot. Okay, so now I have completed my question sentences because I have put the right punctuation in. So, year ones, let's practice writing a question now that we would like to find out about blue whales. We've been learning lots about blue whales. Let's have a go at writing a question. Now I'm going to use one of my question starter words, okay? Now, what do I want to find out? I'm really interested in finding out how fast whales can swim. So I'm going to use my sentence starter as how. Okay, so how fast can whales swim? Okay, what do I need to remember to include at the end of my question sentence, year ones? Of course, I need to remember to put a question mark. That shows everyone that you have asked a question. How fast can whales swim? What I would like you to do now is have a go at writing your own question that you would like to find out about blue whales. We've already found out some information through our non-chronological report. What other information would you like to find out about whales? Use one of these words to help you, okay? And make sure you include your question mark at the end. So pause the video and have a go at writing that in your book. Okay, year ones, I'm sure you have come up with some really interesting questions. I look forward to reading your question on Dojo later. Now let's move on to the main focus of our learning today. And today we are going to be exploring headings. We're going to think a little bit more about headings. Now, headings are used in non-fiction writing, okay? Well, what is a heading? Now, I've got some pictures on the board here, which will hopefully help you remember what a heading is. So pause the video and you need to have a little think in your head, don't need to write anything down, but what is a heading? Okay, year ones, hopefully you have come up with the fact that a heading is a title. It tells you what the non-fiction text is going to be about, and it is normally found at the top of the page. So I can see that the heading of this non-fiction text is African fish eagle. So I must be finding out about an African fish eagle if I read this page. Here I can see that the heading, okay, is speedy spots. Ooh, okay, and I can see from the picture also that I would be learning about cheetahs if I read this information. Okay, this is the one we looked at the beginning of the week, skinny stick insects. This heading is telling me that all of this information is about stick insects. Now, often headings, like we said, are at the top of the page, and they are often a bit bigger, okay? The font, the writing is a little bit bigger to show that it is the heading. Now, here is our non-chronological report that we've been looking at this week, all about blue whales. Can you tell me what the heading of our non-chronological report is? What is the heading, okay, for this non-chronological report? Remember, it's found at the top of the page. That's right, you ones. It is blue whales. That is the heading, okay, the title of our non-fiction writing. It tells us that all of the information on this page is about blue whales. But as well as headings, we have something else, don't we, year ones? We have some smaller headings. What are they called? What do we call those? That's right, we call them subheadings, okay? So as well as there being the main heading, there are also subheadings. Subheadings are used to organise all the information about blue whales into different sections, okay? And this makes it much easier for us to read the information. So who can tell me then, what are the subheadings in this report and what do you notice about those subheadings? So I want you to have a little think about these two questions. What are the subheadings in this non-chronological report and what do you notice? What is special about the subheadings? And just a little bit of a clue, think back to what we were exploring, okay, at the beginning of our sessions, okay? What were we exploring at the beginning of our session? That might give you a little bit of a clue. So pause the video now, have a little think about these questions. You don't need to write anything down, just have a little think if you're by yourself, or have a little chat with someone at home if you're with someone, okay? Pause the video now. Okay, year one, so hopefully you've had some time to think about that. Now, the subheadings in our report, okay, I'm going to use a different colour. So we have the introduction, okay. We got what is the blue whale's habitat? What do they eat? And how big are blue whales? Okay, these are our subheadings. Now, what do you notice about the subheadings? Well, I notice that they are underlined. Often our headings and, okay, the heading at the top of the page and the subheadings are underlined, okay. That makes it clear to the reader what the information is going to be about below it. Now, what else do you notice? That's right, you want some of our subheadings are questions, okay? They're question sentences. So this one says, what is the blue whale's habitat? Okay, so that's a question and the information below it answers that question. Okay, so I know in this section I will find out about what the blue whale's habitat is. Okay, again, we've got what do they eat? Again, it's a question. It starts with what? And I know if I read this information, I'd be able to answer that question. And our last one here, how big are blue whales? Again, it's starting with how, one of our question words, okay? The information underneath allows us to be able to answer that question. Brilliant, well done, year ones. Okay, year ones, I've got a little challenge for you now then. So can you organise the facts under the correct headings? So I've taken two of the headings from our non-chronological reports, our introduction and what is the blue whale's habitat. They were the first two subheadings in our non-chronological report. Now, one of them is a question and one of them is simply the introduction, okay? Now, I would like you to have a go at sorting these facts under the correct headings. Where would you put these facts? Which subheadings would you put them under? Okay, so I'm going to read out those facts for you. So the first one says, in this report, you will learn about blue whales. Blue whales can be found in every ocean on our planet. They travel between the oceans looking for food. A blue whale is a mammal. So I've got 4 facts there. Okay, what subheadings would you put them under? What subheadings would you put them under? Now remember, introduction is the part which tells us what the report's going to be about, and it also just simply tells us what a blue whale is. What is the blue whale's habitat? So habitat means where do they live? Okay, so the facts under this heading will tell us a little bit about where they live. So pause the video now. Please don't write these down. Okay, that's not what you need to do. You just need to have a little think. Where would you put the facts? Which subheading would you put them under? So pause the video now and have a little think about that. Okay, you ones, hopefully you enjoyed sorting the facts into the correct headings there. Let's have a go then. So the first fact sentence is, in this report you will learn about blue whales. So that's telling the reader what we will find out in this report. And I know that that comes in our introduction. That is the purpose of our introduction, to say what the report will be about. Okay, let's find my next sentence. So blue whales can be found in every ocean on our planet. Okay, so I know this is telling me where they live. They live in the ocean and they can be found in all of the different oceans on our planet. So I must put this one under this heading. What is the blue whale's habitat? Where do they live? Okay, my next one is they travel between the oceans looking for food. So that gives me a little bit more information. It tells me that they don't just live in one ocean, they travel between the different oceans on our planet looking for food. So again, that's about where we will find animals, where we would find blue whales. Okay, so that's all about their habitat. I'm going to pop that one there. Okay, my last fact is a blue whale is a mammal. So that's telling me simply what a blue whale is, okay? And I know that a fact like that would be found in our introduction as a way of explaining what a blue whale is and what information sorry, that should go in our introduction because it's telling us exactly what a blue whale is. It is a mammal. Brilliant, well done, year ones. Okay, so this is going to be your learning today. What you are going to be doing is focusing on headings and working out how to organise information under different headings. So your silver challenge is to write the facts below under the correct subheading in your book. So I have 3 subheadings here, year one. I have how big is a blue whale? What do blue whales eat? And do blue whales have babies? Okay, so those are 3 subheadings. And I have got 6 facts here. These facts need organising under the correct subheading. So the facts that I have are the blue whale is the biggest animal on Earth. Blue whales have babies called calves. Blue whales eat krill. They dive deep to find food. It is longer than 3 buses. And calves weigh more than a car when they are born. Okay, so those are my 6 facts. And these are all jumbled up. Okay, they're not in an organised way. And we want to organise them by putting them under the correct subheading. So you need to find the facts. Okay, and there's 2 for each subheading that are about the size and how big a blue whale is. You then need to find the 2 facts that are about what a blue whale eats. And then you need to find the 2 facts that are about the babies that blue whales can have and perhaps what they're called. Okay, so what you need to do in your book is write the subheading and then write the correct facts under each subheading. Okay, so that's silver challenge. For gold, you need to have a little read of the information, okay? And then you need to come up with your own subheading for this information. So the information is a blue whale has 2 holes on the top of its head. This is called a blowhole and they use this to breathe through. Ooh, okay, and there's a picture there to show us what the blowhole looks like. Okay, so a blue whale has 2 holes on the top of its head. This is called a blowhole, and they use this to breathe through. Okay, what your challenge for this part is to come up with the subheading that you would put for this text. So what would the title of this information be? So it's all about how whales breathe. So what could your subheading be? And as a challenge, I would like you to write it as a question, okay, because we know that sometimes we have subheadings written down as a question. So what could the subheading be for this piece of information? You don't need to write all of this information down, just the subheading that you would put above it. Okay, so that's your challenges for today, year ones. Okay, so please again, take a picture of your work, upload it to Dojo so that we can see the wonderful home learning that you're doing. Good luck, everyone.